The animals you're about to see may hold the answer to curing a health problem tied to many of the leading causes of death in the United States, from heart disease to stroke, obesity. Obesity is difficult to study because it's really a complex web of choices involving diet, exercise, and lifestyle. And that's where our genetic cousins in the animal kingdom come in. Here's Abby Boudreau.
Meet Shiva. For the past year, his life has been all about sitting around and snacking, and he's got the belly to prove it. Shiva lives at the Oregon National Primate Research Center, where he and other rhesus monkeys are fattened up for science.
So this is Bashful?
This is Bashful here. He's a middle-aged obese monkey.
Shiva, along with Bashful, really Cuddlebug, Casper, Good-Looking, and Chris Farley, sit around all day eating junk food and locked in cages, doing nothing.
You're trying to make the monkey just like the human couch potato.
Correct. We are trying to model that sedentary lifestyle.
Researchers here who study the effect of food on the brain maintain that they've already made key findings, like how diet seems to impact a baby's neurological development. Watch this baby monkey, just 16 weeks old, whose pregnant mother was fed a high-fat, high-calorie diet. Confronted with a strange toy, in this case, Mr. Potato Head, she becomes anxious and runs away. But now watch the baby of a monkey fed a healthy diet, who quickly makes friends with the toy, embracing it.
Young females from these high-fat diet moms show a significant increase in stress and anxiety responses. That's consistent with what has been observed in young girls, but in the human population, it's really been attributed to the social environment, the social stigma of being obese. Here we now know that it's really underlying neurochemical problems that are leading to this increased risk of stress and anxiety behaviors.
So the bad diet for the mom directly affects how the child's behavior is.
Absolutely, and it's programming that brain to also seek those high-fat diets and those highly palatable diets later in life, which are going to make them at a higher risk for obesity and diabetes later on.
And scientists here also say they've already found at least one medication that reduces weight and improves sugar control, at least in the monkeys. But what goes on in the lab is now the object of an explosive debate. We suited up in protective gear for the first ever on-camera tour inside.
There is some airborne pathogens that can be transmitted both from the primate to the human as well as from the human to the primate.
So to protect both of us. All of us.
Yes.
So this is the special peanut butter treat that they get.
Oh, okay.
Peanut butter, fat, all sorts of fatty goodness. It's about 300 calories per cube.
So it's sort of like a candy bar for them.
Exactly. This is a high fructose drink, and it's to mimic the average American who drinks about 1 soda a day.
After a steady diet of this stuff, some of the monkeys develop obesity-related diseases, normally found in humans, like diabetes.
Yes, look at that.
And depend on daily insulin shots to survive.
Good job.
In the course of the study, some of these obese monkeys will die prematurely from heart attacks or cardiovascular conditions, provoking outrage from critics.
How is this any way mimicking a human condition? Humans aren't put in isolation and force-fed high-calorie diets. This is the kind of thing we consider to be frivolous and unnecessary.
Kathleen Conley of the Humane Society says she's done research on the same type of monkeys in the past.
We've seen time and again drugs that have failed and had hugely adverse effects on humans, where they relied on monkey studies for the testing of that drug, and it gets pulled off the market because of the devastating effects on the humans.
What's your response to critics who say what you're learning isn't all that significant?
I would argue they have a really poor understanding about what we do. We are not simply trying to figure out if a high-fat diet makes a monkey fat. We really need to understand why people, 2/3 of our population, are obese.
The research here is funded in large part by the federal government and drug companies looking for the next cutting-edge obesity drug. And there's no indication those funds will be cut off. For now, Shiva and the other monkeys will keep on snacking and piling on the pounds in the name of human weight loss. This is Abby Boudreau for Nightline in Portland, Oregon.